Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And this time around we're taking a look at another Micromaster team. We've got the Astro Squad, which consists of Fuser and Blastmaster. Now, of course, these guys were issued in the Generation 1 era. We'll stand them here next to them. Of course, they were a part of a bigger squad. The Astro Squad had 6 members due to this team being Micromaster combiners, so that the two of them could combine to form a single vehicle, or be mixed up with other similar toys to create unique vehicles. A rather silly gimmick for its time. At any rate, we're going to take a look at each guy individually, so we can compare them better. As per usual, we'll start out in front with Fuser. Bring him up close to the camera so you can get a good look at him. As you can see, Fuser is a little bit taller than his original toy. And this time it does also look like that he comes packing a couple of pistols. So that's kind of a nice detail. It's here that I should point out that his name has been changed from the original. In the G1 entry, this guy was called Phaser. So now he's called Fuser. A likely reason for the change is the fact that Phaser, when you say that to most people, they will think of the energy weapons featured in Star Trek. So more than likely, copyright reasons forced Hasbro to change the name, even though they're good buddies with Paramount, who currently owns the Star Trek license. But whatever they've got to do. Anyway, Phaser, for his articulation back in the olden day, you could raise his arm 45 degrees only, so it could come pointing straight out or flat against his body. You could also rotate his legs up at the hip 90 degrees, and he could also bend his knees, but he bent them backwards from how they are traditionally done up. Fuser here, well, we can spread his arms out from his shoulders, totally like that. So I guess he can do some dual shooting down 2 hallways. And his arms rotate at the shoulder all the way. His legs can be spread apart about so far. He can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and he can bend at the knee 90 degrees. Phaser, or Fuser in this case, in the G1 continuity, was the second in command to the Astro Squad, mainly due to the fact that he would meticulously check everything over before the mission gets started, because he hates for things to get messed up. And he seemed to think that a lot of his comrades at arms were incompetent fools. Alright, let's take a look at the other figure, and then we'll transform these guys together. Now here we have Blastmaster. The name is of course the same, but they also add Autobot Blastmaster on the packaging, so obviously there is some dispute with the name. The only thing I'm currently aware of with that is there was a video game series with the name of Blaster Master. But at any rate, the toy has a considerably different mold, which is kind of nice. I like the blue detailing on the chest for the new version. It's a nice color difference compared to the medium gray on the original. The red head and blue face is a nice touch and homage to the original. Go along with it as well. Of course, the original toy, he could rotate his arm all the way up so that he could be straight against his backside, or just barely beyond straight up on his shoulder. And he could bend his legs at the hip and backward at the knee. That looks painful. The new version, he can raise his arms out all the way like so. His arms can rotate at the shoulder, but of course they can't go all the way easily due to all the kibble on his back. His legs cannot be spread out at all due to the wings, but he can bring his leg out a bit and bend at the knee 90 degrees. So he's a bit hampered by his wings. But we'll see how well that holds up when we transform the toys. See, he's so excited about it he can't stand up. Okay, to transform them, we will start with Blastmaster here. You turn him around to the backside, and first thing we're going to do is we fold up the tail fin, like so. And then we're going to lock his legs together. May require a little adjustment and things to get him in. There we go, just like that. Then once they're in and attached together, we will fold them over and lock them up against his body, just like that. Once they're up against his body, then his arms should attach right to his hips. And then, of course, now we can fold down his wings, and they should lock into the holes on his shoulders. Just kind of like that. Then, of course, we fold down this post here on his chest so that we can rotate his head back in and then bring the post up to complete the look. For Fuser, we pop back the nose and fold out the landing gear while we're at it. Okay, it doesn't do that. But then you fold everything like that over his head. Bring his arms up at the shoulder and connect them in like so. Then we will put his legs together just like that. And then we rotate it at the hips. And then it gets folded up against him like so. And then we take this little piece on the top and it gets folded flush to help hold everything together. There we go. And then you simply connect the two together like so. And there you have it. They form a space shuttle. And even further go along with their disguise, they even have the NASA logo here on the back. Which goes along well, as Skylynx also apparently has NASA logos on him and has been christened as an actual space shuttle. So Hasbro and Takara really outdid themselves with these space shuttles this time around. Now, of course, taking a look at the Generation 1 version, it's also a definite improvement in looks, since a lot of the kibble is hidden, and we don't have this obnoxious wheel sticking out of the front. Should also like to point out that the packaging and instructions show him being used with ironworks. Here on the instructions, you can apparently attach the Astro Squad on top of the crane. But of course, on the back of the packaging here, they show ironworks in a different configuration for you to put as a landing area. So, rather interesting. Definitely increases the play value for them. But now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of the Astro Squad? I do like the improvement on this toy. It's not being done to sell the gimmick of the combiner function like the original one was. They all had to be able to combine and work perfectly with each other, which is why we have this obnoxious wheel hanging out underneath them. So in this instance, since the combining gimmick is not being played up, it works better. And in ways, it's a lot better than how it was for the original. So I definitely like this toy. The NASA logo on there is just an added nice touch. I mean, after all, the GoBot versions of Spacey looked like NASA shuttles, and even the model kit version had a label to name it after one of NASA's shuttles. So it's about time the Transformers did the same thing. Now, if only NASA would take notice of our love of this thing for outer space and come up with a way to build a new space shuttle. But we'll see what the private enterprises will do to help bring us into the final frontier. And that concludes my review of the Astro Squad for Earthrise. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you like the video, please leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button to join our ranks, and ring the bell so you'll get notified when I load new content. I ask that you all share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. That's what helps this channel grow. And share your thoughts on the Astro Squad in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.